Um, it's your boy back out with another YouTube video, and Disney Plus actually dropped the Wandavision episodes 1 and 2 today on January 15th, 2021. This show's pretty interesting. A bunch of like Easter eggs kind of thing in it as well. Uh, a little bit strange as well. I kind of understand it, kind of, but it's very hard to understand. Especially if you don't like very much look at comics or just other stuff, and you just straight up just watch a show and just like, oh, then you'll probably have to wait till later on in the season. But personally, I kind of understand, and I'm kind of getting like a little bit of a grasp on it. But as I was saying before, the show is pretty good, honestly. The first two episodes very well done. I kind of enjoyed it, but as I said before, it's a little bit strange. And yeah. Oh yeah, one more thing for the video is that I'm doing this in a podcast kind of style, so there'll be like a picture displayed on the screen. In in the picture, it's Vision and Wanda, obviously, in black and white because that's presumably what the episodes are taking place on. So yeah, definitely interesting. Episode 1 was definitely a good episode. We saw that that they are doing more of like a 1950s sitcom kind of like vibes kind of in the show in episodes 1 and 2. I was kind of expecting it from the trailers and stuff. You can definitely see that they're probably going to be doing multiple multiple different eras of sitcoms from like probably this was the 50s or yeah, it was the 50s. Presumably they're probably going to do 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe even 90s, who knows. Um so yeah. In terms actually well, I'll leave that for the rest of the video, but so episode 1 definitely nothing too big in terms of the show. What was happening was we saw that they're living in the 1950s or reality set there. Um, then what's happening is it's not really a superhero kind of thing. They're just hosting Vision's bosses like uh for dinner or whatever, and his wife. And I found that kind of interesting, especially um because there was one part of the show where um Vision Vision's boss was choking on some like a piece of steak or something, and it was stuck in his throat, and he was choking, and his wife was just like, stop that on repeat, which is kind of strange. But then Vision ended up putting his hand in his throat, using his powers, and then we saw he took it out, and then they just left like nothing ever happened. So that was kind of a little bit strange. And we could see there also that Wanda and Vision don't remember anything um, from previously. Like they asked them how they got married, for example, because they're married in this, and they're asking them, and they're like, I don't know, we don't know anything, and whatever. And I thought that was a little bit strange, to be honest with you, but yeah, that's what I definitely spotted. I'm not going to be talking too much about Easter eggs. I just want to say that first of all, because there's quite a few Easter eggs. You guys can definitely check that out on somebody else's channel, because I don't really want to do Easter eggs in this video. Maybe I'll do it after, but not in this video. Episode 2, we saw them still in the 1950s, which was kind of strange, because I was expecting maybe each episode be an era, but yeah, it was in the still set in the 1950s. We saw Wanda and Vision. They had to go different places, such as I don't know, some night watch group for Vision and like some PTA kind of community thing for Wanda. And we saw there she was talking with one of the neighbors, and it was pretty interesting because then it all of a sudden stopped, and one of the neighbors is just like, I don't know what's going on here. I can't remember. And then all we see is the radio going like Wanda. It was like Wanda who's doing this, Wanda or something. That's what they said, and the thing completely destroyed. Um, that was definitely something like what was happening there. That was the real question. And then we also saw like um later on in the episode we saw they went outside and they ended up seeing someone in a beehive costume, and I'll get to who it's hinting at in a second here, but then she just changes the reality as well. And also in the beginning of episode 2, she actually found a helicopter, a toy helicopter that was colored, first of all, and this is supposed to be in black and white, and I'm pretty sure that's hinting at what I'm gonna say just now. But yeah, then that happens, and the episode ends off with them turning in, I assume, the '60s era for episode 3. Um, so yeah, definitely interesting in that part. Yeah. Um, Definitely in the show, the beehive stuff and them hinting off is taking a guess and saying it's probably going to be Sword. It's Sword. Whether I don't know if they're going to be playing good guys or bad guys in this. The villain has yet to be done. And yeah, I don't know if the show will even have a villain. To be honest with you, it's kind of a stranger show. Maybe they could have a villain. Who knows? But yeah, it's hinting very much at Sword. The symbols and stuff. And also at the end of episode 1, um, when it said the end, somebody pulled out a tape or whatever, and it had the Sword logo on one of the binders, which was pretty interesting. So yeah, the show's very much hinting at Sword, which, if you don't know who Sword is, it's basically like another Shield, basically. Um, yeah, they're basically another Shield. That's the easiest way I can explain it. But it could be definitely interesting to see what's happening there. I can't wait to see the other episodes to just definitely hit on who's the villain, or not even the villain, who's causing this. Sword. And I'm also kind of curious on what arrows they do, what they definitely do, because it's definitely interesting with the sitcom thing. I like it a little bit. Yeah, but other than that, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.